The headlights on this 1995 Ford F-250 have been bothering me for quite a while, ever since I got the truck, and it suffers from the same problems that most other vehicles of this age have, about 19 years old now, and that's the dingy yellowing headlights. You can see how dingy the headlight looks compared to the parking light or side marker light, and I've got the added bonus of having a lot of moisture buildup on the inside of the lens, which is extra bad because what that does is it eats away at the reflective coating in the back and reduces the light output. Now I could go and use some of this polishing compound and plastic cleaner and go ahead and polish the lights up, and they'll look a little bit better, but they won't look like new. And it won't do anything to address the moisture issue that I have going on in there, which is likely reducing the light output. And one of the other problems I have is something is wrong with the way this headlight is mounted, and it's completely loose on the bottom side. And the same thing is true for the headlight on the right hand side. And I got a lot of moisture inside that headlight, as you can see. So I think the best thing to do is just to go ahead, like I did on the Crown Victoria a few weeks ago to get it ready for inspection, just go ahead and replace these headlight lenses with brand new units. And to do that, I've got the brand new units over here, new in the box. I ordered these from Auto Parts Warehouse. They're the Depot brand, Depot Professional Auto Parts. And here's the part number for the right hand side, and there's a part number for the left hand side. And if you guys want to know a good place to get them, you can check out the Auto Parts Warehouse website. It's just autopartswarehouse.com, and it's pretty simple. You just type in the year, make, model, and engine size of your vehicle, and navigate to, headlights, lighting, and everything. And you've got several choices to choose from of what kind of headlights that you want. In this particular case, those are the headlights right there that I ordered. They are the left and right headlight pair, and there's a SKU number at the top. And they're also CAPA certified. That stands for Certified Automotive Parts Association. And when dealing with collision parts like fenders and bumpers and tailgates and things like that, you always want to make sure that they're CAPA certified. And they also have a website you can go to called capacertified.org. And basically what they do is they make sure that the replacement parts that you're putting on the vehicle meet the OEM specifications. A lot of times they don't, and you'll be in real trouble. They test these headlights for things like light output, fit and finish, and also for the right dimensions. So these particular lights that I got can be found on the Auto Parts Warehouse website, and they're less than $100 for both of them. The price is really good, and a lot of shops, they'll get $50 a piece to polish your headlights for you, and you're stuck with an old headlight even after it's polished. So we'll take these guys out. Here's how they come packaged. They have the come down here with the bubble wrap, and there's what the headlight looks like, and there's the CAPA certified label. So I know that this part, because it has that certification on it, is going to meet the Ford specifications for fit and finish and everything. It also comes with this plastic wrap on here to protect it. And everything looks to be pretty good with this part. The sealing surfaces are nice and smooth. The adhesive in here doesn't have any voids. And what I like about these parts, from manufacturer name was Depot, what I like about them is they were nice enough to actually ship a brand new headlight bulb in there. So everything about this headlight is brand new. And it looks like they may have thought about the moisture problem that the original Ford parts had, because if you look at the part really close, you can see you've got this, what looks to be a hole, but it's actually a drain. So when the headlight is sitting down like this, you've got a little drain port there, so that if any moisture does get inside this headlight, it'll drain right out this hole right here and not be held captive in the lens just like it is here. There's nowhere for it to go. So in the new part, it looks like Depot tried to make improvements on the OEM part to make sure that the part, when it's put in, is going to last even longer. And comparing it to the part that's on the car, you can definitely see a huge difference, basically night and day. So this truck's going to look so much better with the new parts on here. So time to get at it and start taking them out. I'm going to get everything set up, get the hood open, and start the removal process. Okay, to get started, I'm going to go ahead and do the passenger side first. And as you can see, it's in pretty bad shape. The mounting system is even damaged on it. For some reason, the same thing is true on the driver's side as well. They're not supposed to be that loose. So the first thing you have to do is take off the surrounding bezel that contains the parking light and turn signal lens assembly. And that's going to require taking off these two Phillips screws here. Then you're going to get an 11mm long socket and take out one nut here, and then one nut back in there, and that will allow you to get this lens far enough away from the vehicle to start removing the lights and get it out of the way. So basically just these two Phillips screws and two 11mm nuts have to come off down in there, and this whole assembly will come right on out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll see what it looks like next. Okay, now the parking light and cornering light bezel is taken off now, and now that it's out, you can see where the fasteners are located. One here, and then you've got two screws on the top, of course. And just a tip for you guys, I had a little bit of trouble, as you can see. That bolt right there, or nut right there, was a lot more corroded than the one toward the end. So I had to take a wire brush and clean it up a little bit and put some penetrating oil on there. And even then, this part that screws into the plastic came out. So what you can do is put two of these nuts together, tighten them up real good, and then tighten this back down into the plastic to restore it. And when I put this part back in, I'm going to go ahead and lubricate that to protect it from that same problem again. And just like on the headlights for the 95 Crown Victoria that I did a few weeks ago, the headlights on this 95 F-250 are held in the same fashion with these spring clips that you have to pull out. And you can see how the new headlight is arranged. Same general kind of deal. And so what you want to do is get a pair of these snap ring pliers. And you can see where the headlight's exposed here. I'm going to put these on here like that and squeeze, and while you're squeezing, take your needle nose pliers. It's going to take two hands, of course. Rock that back and forth, and it'll go ahead and lift out. You've got a clip here a clip back here, and then a clip right behind here, which I'm going to have to figure out how to reach. You can see just how messed up this is. The new headlight doesn't have that problem at all. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but I'm about to find out soon enough. And to access these clips right here, you have to take off some of the weather stripping, and that's just really easy. It just clips right on like that, and you just push it inward. You can see how this other one is put on. So very easy to take off, and once you do, it exposes those areas that you need to get to. So I'm going to go ahead and work on these clips and get this old headlight on out of here. Well, I'm a bit more involved than I initially planned, but this looks a lot worse than it actually is. And the reason I have the truck torn down to that point is because the final clip for the headlight adjusters is right back here, and that butts up right against the fender. And there's just no way, because of the way this piece is designed, to get at it from the top. You might be able to get something in there and try to pull it up, but without the ability to spread these apart with a snap ring pliers while you're doing that, you'll probably damage this part right here, or the plastic, and bend these to the point where this won't be of any use anymore. So to get this support off of here really wasn't all that bad. The grill comes off with about 5 screws, just regular Phillips screws and an 8mm screw. And then once the decorative grill comes off, this big support here just comes off with 2 screws up and bottom, top and bottom here, 2 screws here, 2 here, and 2 there, and then 1 on the bottom. It's really quite simple to tear it down to this point. It looks a lot worse than it is, but it'll also give me the opportunity to clean behind the radiator and everything like that in the transmission cooler, and it'll also let me show you guys exactly how these headlights are mounted in on the F-150, 250, and 350s. So we just got to get our snap ring pliers, spread these apart, pull them up. I'll get this older headlight out of here, and we'll be able to go in with our new parts. Not exactly sure what happened with the way the headlights were loose. It's as if the headlight adjusters might be bad, the original ones, because they just basically freewheel at this point. But if I look at the old headlight, and by the way, you can see the water in there. Where the adjuster connects, this is just totally worn out. I think this ball socket, or the ball on the end of here, has to be pressed right back in there somehow. But it does look damaged and it's old. There's no point in fixing it. But that's basically what's going on. And sure enough, with the Ford part, you can see that there's no way for the water to escape here. There's no drain hole built into it. On the new part from Depot that I got from Auto Parts Warehouse, you can clearly see that there is a weep hole back here, right there. So this replacement part's not going to have that problem. So I feel pretty confident that this replacement part from Depot from Auto Parts Warehouse is actually going to be better than the OEM part, especially in appearance, as you can see. What a difference that's going to make. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and tilt this thing over here. Taking out these clips, which shouldn't take me too long, and now I can get to these very easily. And I'll go ahead and build it up with the new Depot headlights. Okay, I got both of the brand new headlights mounted now. And quick tip is to, when you get these clips driven in here, to make sure that the tangs go ahead and engage in the plastic area here. That way this plastic piece here is held captive, so when you go to adjust it, turning the screw, this is not going to want to rotate on you and bind up and possibly bend these clips. And same thing in all the other ones. You also want to make sure that the clips are installed below the little ridge here on the plastic to make sure they don't work their way loose and come up. So this piece basically is ready to go onto the truck again. I left the protective plastic film on here until I go ahead and put everything back together. And it may look like a lot of work to get the truck down to this point, but it really isn't, and it's definitely well worth it. And you'll see in a few minutes once this piece is put back on, especially for this area down here where this clip is. There's just no way to get to that clip and properly install it without bending it or anything like that or damaging the headlights. The other thing this is going to allow me to do, it's going to allow me to clean all this stuff up, as well as clean the bottom area here where the bumper part of it is, as well as get behind this transmission oil cooler, because I noticed that I have quite a few mud dauber nests built up on the condenser for the air conditioning system. This truck apparently at some point in its life has sat for a very long time not being used, and the mud daubers have just had a field day making nests. There's mud dauber nests all over this engine and all over the frame of the truck and everything. So I'm going to take this opportunity to get behind this oil cooler. It just comes off with 2 bolts here, one here, and one right there. And that will allow me to pull this thing back far enough to get these mud dauber nests out of here. And then I can go ahead and start reassembling the truck. Okay, now that nasty mud dauber nest is gone, I'm going to have a much more efficient air conditioning system now. And it's time to put this thing back together. I'm going to go ahead and mount the transmission cooler back where it was. And then I'll go ahead and continue on with the headlight assembly. Okay, this truck is coming along. I got the header panel installed with the headlights all mounted up and ready to go. And I'm glad I went ahead and took this thing off for a variety of reasons. The main one being this bottom clip here, as you can see, would be very hard to get to between the header panel and the body of the truck. You could get something in there and just rip it off, but it might damage the headlight adjuster if you're reusing the same adjuster, or it might damage your clip in there. It's just, there's just no room to work in there like that. And it's not that hard to do. You've got a bolt there, and a bolt there, and then 2 bolts here and here, a bolt on the bottom, and then the same thing on that side. Take out the wiring, because you have to anyway for the headlights, and the whole thing just pops right off. And the grill is the same way. It just basically sets in there with those little bumpers, sets into these grooves right here, and it just screws in with regular Phillips screws. It takes no more than 3 minutes to get that thing off of there. So although the truck looked really disassembled just to a large degree, it really wasn't all that bad. And you'll save yourself a lot of frustration if you take that panel out of there when dealing with all these clips that are way back in here and hard to get to. You'll just be able to do a much better job. You'll be able to make sure those clips are put back in properly and seated correctly. It's just a much better way to do it, I think, or at least I had a much easier time doing it like that. Once this panel was out of here, the headlight change out only took about maybe 5 minutes to do. So it's not that bad at all. There's just not really a whole lot of room to work in here. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this grill set up in there. But also, taking that apart like that also enabled me to clean pretty deeply. I got the bottom part here, this white part here, all nice and clean. And then I can go ahead and put this grill in. You can see how those bumpers line up. And that's really all there is to it. The grill's basically installed. All I gotta do now is just screw the thing down. It's just that easy. Next thing I'll do is put the cornering light and parking light lens in there, and we'll be done with this job. Well, this truck is all put back together, and it is just a whole lot better looking than it used to be. Headlights are now installed, and the parking light and cornering light lenses are all installed. And here's the old headlight for comparison, and just what a difference. I like to protect the film on to avoid any damage to the headlights, and it's nice that Depot put this film on here to protect it. That way when you're working with it, you won't scratch the lens. So now it's time to take all this off, see what it really looks like. Wow. I really recommend going ahead and replacing these headlights. It's not really that hard of a job, and they're not really all that expensive. For example, if you go to Auto Parts Warehouse, where I got these, they're actually less than $100, and a shop won't charge you much less than that to polish up your old ones, and the old ones just will never look as good as these brand new ones. And the other thing is that these are one of the things on a car, in addition to brakes, that I like to call critical to safety. You definitely want to have as good a lighting as you possibly can, and you also want to have the CAPA certified parts, whether you're talking about lighting or body panels, bumpers, or bumper reinforcements on newer cars, because that actually could affect your safety in a lot of ways. The CAPA certification means that these lights are SAE certified or DOT certified, and they also meet the OEM specifications for light output and area of coverage and everything else. You're just guaranteed to get a part that is an exact fit. And these headlights fit in here really well. They're all nice and flush with the rest of the vehicle. I got the measurements as close as I could. Taking from the old headlights, I just basically took a ruler and measured how far apart these two areas are, as well as these two areas. I really couldn't do much with the adjuster part down here because this is all messed up to begin with. And so I basically took these measurements and made sure that the new headlights had the exact same measurements. These, of course, to be sure, will have to be readjusted at a shop where they have the proper equipment, but you can get them pretty darn close. The basic thing you want to do is just to make sure that they're all flush with the vehicle, not sticking way out or sticking way in. And these headlights from Depot came with the brand new adjusters, and now they're nice and tight. They don't move back and forth like the original ones did. And to adjust them, all you really need is a 5/32 wrench or a socket wrench, and you turn it clockwise to move the light outward and counterclockwise to move it back in. It's very, very easy to do. I think I've got it pretty close, but I definitely want to go to a shop and have them double check. And another tip for you guys is, if you're getting a state inspection and the shop calls up and says that one or more of your headlights has failed the output test, you want to make sure that you ask them that they, or make sure that they actually tested the headlights with the engine running. The battery, no matter what kind of battery that you have, is really only going to put out about 12.6 volts on a good battery. And if your headlights are marginal, you might be able to pass the test, when you run the engine. The alternator is going to put out about 14.2, 14.6 volts, depending upon the temperature. And that extra couple of volts will make the headlights shine brighter, and it might go ahead and put you over the edge of that test where you can avoid spending any money on having a shop mess around with your headlights and everything. So, you know, because I don't know anybody that's driving down the road without the engine on and having the headlights on. It's just not possible. So to really accurately test the headlight output, you do want to have the engine running. So, anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys and show you how to change out these headlights. It's a really good way to make your truck or car look like brand new. A lot of the cars on the road have the old faded cracked headlights, and it's not that hard of a job to do, and it just makes your truck look so much better.